Maybe.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us tonight. We have quite a special panel tonight as well, and we are expecting some more people too. So hopefully they do show up. But as of now, we have some amazing creators here. Probably some of the top creators in CG for sure. I'm very proud to have you guys on my channel. That's for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, you guys are like creme for sure. And so I'm really happy to have you on tonight and talk about your projects, show your projects to our audience and people who may have missed them or want to learn more about them as well. So first of all, I want to welcome Clayton from Australia. How are you?
From Australia.
I'm very good, man. Very good.
Sure that everybody knows that this is an international stream, all right?
Okay.
All over the world.
Yeah, absolutely, man. No, it's a pleasure to be here with you, as always, and the other people on the panel as well. Vinny and Mike, these guys are fantastic. Sometimes when I have a catch up like this online, it makes me wish that streaming was my full-time job, because there's so many people to talk to out there that I wish I could catch up with more often. But there's only so much time in the day, right?
Oh, totally, man. I agree.
No, I get you. And no, man, it makes me super happy to have you on for the second time on our channel. We were once in your channel as well. That was a very, very nice experience for sure. And I have seen how much more involved you have become with the community. And it's making me very happy, because I know that you have probably one of the best projects out there as well. So
thanks, man.
Artistically, you know what I mean? I haven't read it yet, but the art looks fantastic. So want to put that out there. I'm going to be showing you Kosovo.
It's a pretty cool book.
Yes, if you haven't backed it already, please, all of the wrenches, and we will as well put the links below after we show you. Then, of course, we have our brother Vinny. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Yeah, man. I just did a new video on how to make comics. I kind of covered really quickly the lettering and kind of balloon aspect of things, because I've been seeing some people here and there just doing it wrong, or I wanted to make sure people have a better understanding of something like that, because it's very important to comics. Yeah. Like the way that the letters are actually supposed to be in a balloon, right? It's supposed to be stretched across the page or anything like that. You want them in that circular shape. You want symmetry, you want that kind of thing. So I just talked about that kind of briefly and showed people an example. But, I'm always trying to do the best that I can to help out the community and creators in any way that I could. Because more people, they've been telling me they want me, if I can't do live streams, they want to see more videos. So I decided I'll probably crank out a few, important bits of information here and there.
Man, there's always tons to learn from Vinny. You gotta understand, he's a guy who's been in this industry for a long time, who knows what he's talking about, and he shows in his work. So look forward to hear what you have to say about that. We're definitely your pupils in many ways too. So I know you have taught us a lot along the way. So I look forward to see what you got to say about lettering and things like that. And it's definitely an important part of it.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Like I said, it's important to do that, open up a dialogue, because a lot of people, either they're too shy or they think people are too busy to have a conversation about stuff like this. And then, they might just goof it or make a big mistake. Because again, that's very important. You're reading a comic book, you want to make sure it's cohesive. You're not going to be all over the place, and you want the story to flow.
Absolutely. Kemosabe returns. First of all, shout out and thank you for watching. Says that few things make your book look less professional than a bad lettering. Yeah, I agree. There are books. I don't want to, of course, crap on anybody, but there are books from CG that I've seen that I really love the story, really love the concept, and really love the art. But that was like my only pet peeve. Either, I don't know, sometimes the lettering doesn't match the mood of the story, if that makes sense. I remember there was this kind of cyberpunk type of story that I was reading, but the lettering, I don't know, it just didn't seem to match what I was reading, and it did take me off of it a little bit. And I know I'm just being picky here, but I know that bad lettering could definitely ruin a good comic. There's no question about that. So we'll touch upon that later. Vinny, we will take all the pointers that we can from you and everybody who's a creator watching this right now. Definitely look forward to what Vinny has to say about lettering. He is El Maestro tonight, teaching us all about that. So I also want to welcome, of course, our friend Mike. I know Selena will be watching as well, so shout out to her too. They have, you know, Deepwell now, and they were from The Gods Fear Me, another great book, and they have been a supporter and friends, you know, for a long time now, of this channel and of our company, Waika Comics too. So we welcome you anytime on this channel. You know, this is your home too, and welcome again tonight.
Awesome. Thanks so much, John. Thanks so much, Carla, for having me on. It's always a pleasure. Yeah, it's been a really busy day here. Been focused on getting some pages for God's Fear Me colored to get them over to our letterer. Have to make some tweaks to a couple pages of Deepwell. So I've been talking to Raphael. And then I think I'm going to spend the evening trying to get ready a Halloween surprise for all of our backers, if I can get it done in time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Halloween surprise is always a good thing to have, man. And then, of course, I want to say hello to our beautiful chat, always here, always present, always very active. As one of the things that we have on this channel for sure that I've noticed is that we have probably one of the most active, if not the most active chat out there. Wish you could send us freaking super chats. You remember, because we'll be rich by now because you guys are always commenting.
But we're not monetized.
We're not monetized.
You can't ask for super chats yet. You have to do stuff to ask for super chats.
You have to do stuff.
You have to show people stuff, you know.
But what my point is that these guys are so engaged in our conversation, and you guys become part of the show, even if you're not in the panel. And so
that's why sometimes I'm not afraid of streaming like alone, because
it's like you're with people, and they definitely sometimes fill in the gaps when you're thinking and talking about stuff. So I want to say hello to Imega, who was the first one tonight. You get the prize for the first comment. 656 promote on that border, but it is done. So I mean, congratulations! Congrats. First of all, congratulations. You guys have a really kick-ass book. We did steal your interior artist, so there you go. And yeah. Cool.
Oh wow!
From all the love for the Pico, Mogwai Centurion, thank you for joining us as well. Edwin the Ace Azevedo. What are we selling tonight? Well, we're selling awesome comic books, and yeah. Ken Mosavi, thank you for joining us. And then we have a few links. Thank you, Mogwai, for dropping them. Ken Mosavi also says, and this comment goes to Vinny, if you're not 100% confident lettering, consider hiring a dedicated letterer. They are fairly cheap, and the value they add to your book can be overstated. What do you think about that, Vinny?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You want good quality no matter what. But I know a lot of people, either if it is too tight of a budget, or they just want to do it themselves because they want to learn everything. It's important to really, figure out the basics of everything. You can't just wing it if you know nothing about it. That's why I even said, pick up a comic book, take a look, pick up your favorite comic and see, why do you like it? Follow the voices of the characters, and then study everything about it. Every aspect is important in making a comic book. I know a lot of people think it might be silly or just, you could crap anything out. But no, really sit down and figure it out. I mean, I've goofed in the beginning. I even said it in the video. I did a free book like fucking years ago that I put up on DeviantArt. And it looked like Matt Murdock lettered it, because it's the last thing I was thinking about was lettering. I go, I'll just have this as a placeholder. I'll come back and do it another time. But I've been so busy and never went back to fix it, right? So it looks like a mess, and it hurts, I think, the storytelling of it. So really figure out every part of it, because like anyone who has my books, my comics, I haven't had a single complaint. Everyone said everything's perfect from it. The lettering is fantastic. So I figured I'll just do a quick video and kind of tell people this is kind of what you should be doing and thinking about, right? So everything adds to the comic.
Yeah, I think that sometimes the lettering can give a character a voice. A very unique lettering for a character can give it a voice. Like what we tried on the Grim Reaper was give each person kind of a font, and also kind of like make the balloons stand out, especially when the Grim Reaper was talking, make it like black and misty, so that you knew who was talking.
Right.
So I definitely know where you're coming from. I think good lettering can go a long way. Also at identifying who is speaking in a scene, which is something very hard to do when you're doing comics.
Yeah.
And you're not hearing the character, of course.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say I have never been on your stream before. You guys are awesome, wholesome actually. Well, thank you very much. Bass,
Hope to see you more.
Hope to see you more. Bass, thank you for joining us. Filter, hello fellow kids, hello to you. And I saw another comment. I mean, like I said, we have probably the most active. And Dino arrived. We can relax now. Relax is my middle name. Deadpool and Spawn both benefit from unique lettering. Yes, yeah, that is true. That is true. Very true. And Lucifer has its unique lettering as well.
Look, a pigeon.
Love Pigeon is in the house as well. Thank you.
What's up,
And then,
pigeon?
of course, Selena Hernandez was watching us from the same house as Mike Murphy. Right now.
That's fantastic.
Calling
Yeah,
from
real quick too.
inside the house.
I just want to say real quick too. Yeah, Kimasabi. I did a stream with him, I believe, on Liam's not too long ago, and yeah, very great guy, very cool person. So yeah, it's great to see you.
Yes,
Absolutely.
he definitely is.
Yeah, no, he definitely is. And you know what else is awesome?
What?
This project coming from Australia called Kosovo.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you very much, John. I really do appreciate that. It is a project that is close to both me and my brother's heart. We're working on it together. It's a brother's collaboration. I'm going over the top of his original artwork. I'm sprucing it up a little bit for Kosovo's first ever printing. This is the first time that people are actually going to be able to hold it in their hands. And it's actually been a few years in the making, believe it or not. And Corey really hasn't seen a cent from it. It's just been passion alone fueling his ambition for this series. And he plans on making it into a very, very big saga. Talking about something crazy like 30 volumes of Kosovo he wants to create. So he'll be doing this thing until he's 80 or 90. But
Wow.
one of the reasons as to why he wants to take it on for that long is because he's a big Berserk fan, if you've ever heard of that anime or manga.
Yes.
Yes.
And for anyone who has followed the manga, you'll know that it's lots and lots of volumes of story. And as you look at the visuals here, you might notice that it does have some resemblance to the visuals that you might see within Berserk. And that's why I'm a fan of Kosovo. That's why I said to Corey, hey, look, dude, after rereading it multiple times, just while I went over to his house and I was bored, I looked through the printed folder of pages that he had done up. Actually, his wife actually printed off the book for his birthday as a present. And that's really the only physical form that Kosovo has ever been in. And so, I'd just be looking through that and I'd be like, man, this is a really cool story. Like, I'm a legit fan. We got to put it out there for the rest of the world to experience. People need to become a part of the world of Kosovo and really know what it's about. And so here we are with our first campaign. We've ended our 60-day campaign, and now it is in demand and available there for the next few months, where if you didn't get a chance to back it during the initial campaign, you can still jump on board, score yourself multiple variations for the cover. We've even got a black and white line art edition where we really shine a spotlight on the incredibly intricate and detailed comic book art that you're going to see not only on the cover, but also the interiors. So this isn't one of those books where we're selling you with the cover alone. We're actually selling you on the interior art as well, which is just as good, if not better. So it's been a real honor to work on this with Corey, and we're really proud of the comic book that we've created for you guys.
Hell yeah. I love you guys, man.
Thanks, man.
Like I said, the passion behind all this stuff, and and Mike's book too on Deepwell. I mean, this is, like John said, this is a great fucking panel with really amazing creators.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, Vinny.
Great looking project. I'm a big fan of the monsters. I gotta tell you, I still, every time I look at that 100-eyed thing, it's fucking amazing. I love it. I love the detail in it, you know, like how you can see the reflection in the eyeballs and things like that. There's definitely a lot of work put into it, but I thought it was interesting that we were talking about lettering particularly, and I can see that you guys gave different colors to certain characters when they're speaking and things like that. So that's something that I personally enjoy a lot. You know?
Yeah, man, we're even thinking of redoing some of the lettering and tweaking the dialogue. You know, we really want to make sure that this is extremely polished. And I think it's one of those books where, you know, yeah, sure, the details and the level of intricacy might keep you coming back to look at the book and really take in the art for a longer time, you know, after that initial read. But I think it's not just that. It's also the concepts and the ideas that Corey is putting forth that is really going to immerse readers. You know, it's like that multiple-eyed creature that you just seen, like the idea of that, the visual experience that you have when you're taking it in is just, it's intriguing. It makes you curious. You're like, what the hell is this? And that's honestly something I can say about every single page of this book, is that you're going to want to reread it. You'll be compelled to read it over and over again, just because it's so weird and strange.
There is something that I just realized while speaking with Corey right now, that I'm sorry, with Clayton, is that everyone in the panel does work with family members in the comics, or, you know, or their spouse. I mean, it's the same thing. So, you know, Clayton, you're working with your brother. I know Vinny worked with Frankie as well, Mike and Selena, and then me and Carla. So it's all a family business here.
Yeah, it is.
The family stream.
That's right. This thing of ours.
Totally. Yeah.
It
makes it special, I think, when you can, you know, having a brother that you can hang out with and talk comic books with and even work on a project together with. You know, Vinny, of course, knows this very, very well. It's a really rewarding and special bonding experience. And you know, we can say that once this book is done, when it's out there, that we did that together. You know, yes. we made this happen together, and we're always going to have that we've shared together. So, yeah, I don't know, man. There's just something really cool about that, and I think that it brings us closer together as brothers for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, because if you could get past something like that, creating a project together without killing each other on top of it,
yeah,
depends on how you work with one another. But yeah, it's very rewarding, because like whatever issues we've had when we were creating our books together, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, this came out really amazing. Whatever we did, whatever we were even fighting about or agreed on, it was worth it. You could definitely see that.
And there's a great, you know, pedigree for like working with like your spouse or family members across like all pop culture. You know, in comics, you've got like in the 80s, you had Frank Miller and Lynn Varley, and Walt and Louise Simonson, you know, and then in film you've got like Christopher Nolan and his brother. So it's, I don't know, like I like the idea of like we're just a whole part of that whole mix, you know.
Oh, for sure, man.
Yeah, there is something very endearing about it. I know that's something that sold me on Vinny's project as well. And, you know, I don't know, it makes it a little bit more significant than if, you know, you're just a creator who's hiring out a writer from the other side of the world. Like, there's not that sense of intimacy or connection there. But when it's two brothers or a wife and a husband working together on something, it's there's a story behind that. You know, there's an additional narrative besides the actual book. And I just think that that's so cool. It gives it a little bit more depth, the creation experience for that project.
Absolutely, yeah. It's more of that personal touch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you got lots of fanboys in the chat lately. So,
yeah, I've gotten to know a lot of people.
That's good. Yeah, man, you guys got a great looking project. It's awesome that you're working with your brother on it as well. You know, and I mean, what else can be said about the art? It just speaks for itself. Do check out Kosovo on Indiegogo. It has, last time I checked, which is right now, is 24,000 over 24,000.
444.
Yes.
By 421.
It's US dollars, right? So it's like what, $20 less or something like that. And
there
you guys have
the conversion.
Some pretty awesome. Yeah, $97 for the feature perk that has the Corey variant. the definitive edition, the black and white line art edition, and a digital comic book PDF. So you guys have quite an amazing deal on.
Yeah, man, we've really tried to make sure that a lot of the time what comes up when it comes to backing books on Indiegogo or Kickstarter is, of course, the price tag that's attached to it. And, by the way, that's actually $97 in USD. So it looks a little bit bigger than it actually is for you guys in the US. But, I think that it's important then to make sure that we're not just delivering a comic book here, that we're giving you guys a package, a sentimental experience to make sure that, that you're not just supporting a comic book here, but you're supporting a future for Kosovo. Those 30 issues, those 30 volumes that Corey is going to create, this is where it begins right here. And it's everybody who has jumped on board with Kosovo that's allowing us to be able to do that, to foresee that future actually happening and becoming a reality. So we can't thank everybody enough for that. We really do appreciate it. And we're just so stoked that this many people have jumped on board and are actually going to get to have Kosovo on their hands to be able to read the book and experience it. This way we get to share it around with everybody else. It's not just us that gets to keep it to ourselves, but and I think that's what every creative wants to do. Is it would be so meaningless if we were just sitting in a cave drawing our own pictures and hanging them on the wall just for us. Like, that's not what we get satisfaction out of. We get satisfaction as creators, as artists, out of putting our artwork out there and sharing it with everybody else. There's that argument where why do you create art? Do you create it for yourself, or do you create it to get approval from other people? And I always say, of course I get it. I create it to get approval from other people. Like, I'm not just creating it for myself. I want to give it to other people. And if they're not satisfied with it, then it's like giving someone a Christmas gift that they're not satisfied with, It's like giving them some socks for Christmas.
Here's some of that COVID. You didn't like it?
As a person who received tons of socks for Christmas, I gotta say that I definitely understand where you're coming from. And so far, Comicsgate has not disappointed. I've backed quite a few books, and I gotta say, I definitely this is why Comicsgate is growing so much. We're definitely beating the mainstream in a lot of ways, and I think quality is a huge one, but also is that relationship with our backers. I think cutting out the middleman and just being able to talk to you guys on our chats, on Twitter, and of course on our YouTube channel is priceless. It's just you build that relationship with your backers, you build that relationship with the whole community, and I think that's something that the professionals in the mainstream could never even dream of.
Yeah, I've gone on many a rant about that. How they treat fans and customers.
Go ahead, boss. Go ahead, boss.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, I've exploded in the past about it, but yeah, seriously. I mean, it is about the fans. So if you're snapping at them, or if you're blaming them for why you're not making proper sales, well, guess what? You failed as a creator. You failed the customer. You failed yourself. So the important thing is connecting with people. It is what we're doing, having these streams, reaching out, listening to one another. Those are the important things. And that's why I want to slap the shit of everyone in the mainstream, because they do the opposite. They are just evil, vile, nasty people that just want to count their money, Yeah. And they want to sell their properties to Hollywood. That's all they think about 24/7. It's disgusting.
Yeah. It is.
I think. Well, I mean, you're obviously bringing a lot of great points, but I think that one of the things why Comicsgate is so powerful, it's really summarized right here by Johnny Cage, right? It's that while the mainstream media is busy pandering to politics, we are actually creating stuff that is fun. We are creating things that are fun and that people actually enjoy and that people want. There are tons of comic book fans out there still, and manga or manga, however you want to call it, there's tons of fans. There's a big audience for things like that. The things that we're putting out. There's no, make no mistake. There's a reason why a lot of Comicsgate creators are making so much. And maybe we're not pulling the same numbers, but guess what? We just the fact that we had 200 backers or so, that is a huge win for someone who doesn't come from the industry. You know what I mean? Like this was our first time doing something like this.
I think like the main thing that connects all of us is we all agree with the idea that entertainment should be escapism.
Yes.
And for a lot of like the SJWs or the industry types that just focus on the cash, like, and I've straight up heard some of these people say this, like they believe that there should be no escapism. The whole like, even if you're saying something isn't political, it's still political. Like that whole argument. Like,
yeah.
I think we creatively and the fan base and the customers that we've built up, even if like there's like like political or ideological issues that we don't all agree on, like the one thing we agree on is this is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be entertainment. It's supposed to be an escape from like all the other stuff that they're pumping into the industry.
Totally. And I really hate that argument, by the way, where it's like, if you don't say anything, then you are a Nazi or a sexist or a this or a that.
Yeah.
You're on the, if you're not with us, you're against us. And it just annoys the hell out of me. I saw this comment, this tweet that I think it was Maisie Williams. Is she the little chick from Game of Thrones?
Right.
She put out recently, and it was something about like, we need to stop asking people if they're feminists and start saying that if you're not, you're a sexist, just automatically. And it's like, well, no, not at all. Like, just because I don't subscribe to a dogmatic belief system that you might hold doesn't mean that I'm this other horrible thing that you're placing on me. And it becomes so meaningless, the word sexist then, or the word hate group or Nazi or whatever it is you want to have. It's like, it's so meaningless at that point.
It proves that they are part of the hate group, because that's what you're doing. You're canceling other people for not having that hive mind that they're all fucking sharing.
Yeah, it's basically, it's like fundamentalist religious people saying, look, if you don't believe in God, you're going to hell.
You're going to hell.
And that's it.
Exactly.
Art is about free thinking and being creative and giving more back to people. And everyone lost fucking sight of that.
Yeah, man, that's all it was ever about.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree, and I think it's something very interesting when because we were talking behind, before we started the show about hate mail, right? And I'm sure that most of us have received some of it at some point, right? Especially because we're doing something that's very brave that not a lot of people would dare to do, which is putting ourselves out there. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it might be a win, or sometimes it might be a miss. It's just, there's a lot of factors that come into play when you put yourself out there, whether it is with your YouTube channel or your books or your creation or whatever, But what we're doing takes balls. Simple as that, because like Clayton mentioned before, what you're doing it because you want other people to like it, and by doing so, you're also you're exposing yourself and you're opening to criticism.
But your work and yourself.
Your work and yourself. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that probably all of us right here, I know I'm assuming, but probably all of us right here have received in one form or another hate mail. I think one of the things that was most that is very telling is when you get hate mail from SJWs, and I think it really kind of shows the kind of mentality, like the hive mind that Vinny was talking about, because about 2 nights ago, I made a YouTube video, and I got a comment on it from an SJW that started stalking me afterwards. He showed up last night again, and I'm sure I'll be seeing him around more. And the thing was, or she, or whatever pronoun they identify as.
It's they, him.
Yeah, don't make any assumptions.
but what it was telling to me is how they would they would go. They would do the same things that they chastise us for supposedly doing, right? They would say racist comments towards you. They would try to make homophobic statements about you, and all these things that they're supposed to. And it's really funny because they put themselves into that corner, right? They put these high expectations on society and as to how we're supposed to behave, how we're supposed to think, the things that we're allowed to say and not to say. And when you call them out on their hypocrisy and say, aren't you being a little bit racist by saying what you're saying to me right now? They have no choice. Their heads kind of explode. And so they always resort to deleting the comments, the tweets or whatever, and pretend like it never happened. It's really freaking hilarious because it just shows the hypocrisy, and it also shows the kind of mental trap in which they are.
But you know what? It's not just any video. You're making Mask John Speaks, which is basically political commentary. You destroy the ideologies of the SJWs. You're giving fact after fact after fact. You show videos. You show proof of what you're talking about. And the only thing they can resort to doing is insulting you. Yeah. Like they put insults to you as a person instead of like putting facts that, I don't know, can be like refuting what you were saying instead of debating or saying something like, hey, I disagree because of this. No, they just straight insult you, and they are the tolerant people.
I know, but I think that one of the most selling thing about it is the fact that they'll come after my race when they're the people who are obsessed about it. You know what I mean? It's just really funny. It's a funny thing, and it's very hypocritical. Of course, anytime you call it out, they will just pretend like it never happened, delete the comment, and move on. But what are your thoughts about that, guys? Why do you think that that SJWs are so hypocritical in that sense?
Well, I think it's because they're pulled into this, like you said. It goes back to the hive mind thing. They're part of something. They feel that they're part of something, right? Most of these people, they do have a lot of mental issues, or they feel lost and alone. So if they see a group of people who are all thinking the same thing, saying the same thing, they want to latch onto it. And this is like why politicians they pay these animals to attack these cities and shit, because they're preying on the weak and disturbed,
I think they are weak, but also they are very arrogant because they think they are better than, for example, this like mentality of like, we are the saviors. We're gonna save everybody else because everybody else is worse than us. Yeah. They're more stupid than us. They can't. We have to help them, right? We have to lower everybody's standards so these people can make it right. And they have this need. This like intrinsic need of wanting to be like more morally superior than everybody else.
Well, listen, it's nonsense. I grew up in a time where everyone made fun of everyone. We all had a good laugh. We all had fun. No one took anything personally. Look at the comedians back in the time. We had George Carlin, Sam Kinison, people like that. Shows that were on the air were like Married with Children. You could take jokes. Everybody laughed at that stuff. There's a reason why ratings were always so amazing on shows like that. It's because it's okay. Everyone's now they all get to stick up their ass. You're afraid to fart in the wrong direction because you're going to offend someone. It's like, get over yourselves. Seriously.
Well, I can speak from experience. Like 9 times out of 10, like what they're doing is projection, and it's projection because like all this like bile coming from them comes from a place of personal shortcomings. Like I've never said this specific story like on a stream before, but so like the people in our lives that dumped us when we went CG, last year I tried meeting up with one of them to like try to patch things up to see if there was anything that we could salvage, because again, this was like like a 10-year plus family friendship. And we're talking about all this stuff that we're talking about now, and he of course went back to the whole like we're a hate movement and a bunch of white supremacists, and I'm like, dude, you realize like my wife is a part of this movement, and I listed off a whole bunch of other in quote diverse people. And he came back at me with this thing of like, you realize that throughout history, there have been people of different colors who have gone along with, hate movements like this to get along. And I'm like, did you just call my wife like, and I'm not going to say it, but like, like a house N-word? Like, is that what you just did? Like this person that's like had you into her house and like been a friend to you for over a decade, you just said that about her. It comes from a place of shortcoming, and it comes from they're damaged, and they need to project that damage onto you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to, and there is something else that I want to clarify for all of you fuckers who might be, because I know you watch, because that's the thing. I know you watch because you
rant.
Because you comment. First of all, not that I don't have one, but I do. But being college educated doesn't mean that you're smart. It just means that you're better indoctrinated into whatever dogma they're pushing into academia nowadays. But it doesn't make you smart. So that whole debate, you need to educate yourself. What you're really saying is you need to re-educate yourself into my belief system and into my way of thinking.
Right.
So,
Yeah. And I agree with Mike too. It's so simple. It's like when you're a kid and, you tell that you go home from school and you tell your mom that you've been bullied at school, and she tells you, you know what, honey, they're just bullying you because they've got insecurities that they see in you. And that's just how it feels so much of the time. I'm very wary of idealistic people, people who spout ideals all the time, because what I've found in my experience is they are some of the most hypocritical people, because their actions do not align at all with what they preach, and they're very untrustworthy for that reason. They're very weak and unstable people, in my opinion. And you got to be wary of that stuff. Those people out there that are, hating on Comicsgate and the people within Comicsgate, there's a part of them, I think, a dark side that is just underneath, that they're trying to bury as much as possible by ripping on Comicsgate and the people within it. But I think that we're about the furthest from what they're saying we are, because we're focused on the creativity. We don't give a shit about this stuff, really. The only time it comes onto our radar is from those people out there who are bringing it to our door.
Yeah, I've said it multiple times. We don't cause any hate. What we do is defend ourselves. That's what it is. And they don't like when we defend ourselves because they want us to bend the knee or bend over, period. We don't do that. Going back for a second with the bullying thing, I was always taught, someone's trying to bully you, go back the next day and you fucking punch the bully out.
Exactly, yeah. And that works too.
Yeah, you do not sit there and take it from people.
It's very simple. If they have that high aspirations, it's because they're not there. They're below. Yeah. That's it.
But see, the sad thing is, like Mike was saying, this was a family friend that, he was willing to say something so vile and shitty towards Mike and his wife. They don't even stop to think or consider anyone else's real feelings, if you want to talk about that. Because they like to, a lot of them come off as being so soft and all that shit. But when it comes down to it, they'll throw away anyone's humanity just to try to get their ridiculous point across, which is, again, echoing the voices of what they're hearing in places. They're not living a proper life. They're not happy people. They're miserable, and they want other people to be miserable.
Absolutely. And Mike, I can't believe that was a 10-year-old friendship.
Yeah.
And just because you joined Comicsgate, man, I don't know if it's like because maybe Comicsgate is more of a hardcore thing over there in the States or something, but man, I really didn't get any hate, and no one, and I have a big community of people in the US too, and it's nobody. People came to me and warned me about it, but no one was like, listen, I can't be your friend anymore if you're associated with Comicsgate, and like that's just something that really sucks, man. A friend that you hang out with them in person and for such a long time with so much history. That's so hard for me to believe, man.
Yeah, the statement directly was, we can't risk you bringing that home. And I'm like, what are you even talking about? Like, are you talking about specific people? I mean,
I would love to know.
I started laughing because I'm like, look, man, the only person I know here is Narwhal, and Narwhal is no threat to you, man.
Yeah.
That's so strange.
But I do think there might be a cultural thing right there, because Australians have to deal with things like this every day. So
sure.
So I think I have a tougher skin.
Yeah.
That might have been in Brazil. I don't know, but it still looked Australian.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think that there's definitely SJWs and movements and stuff that happen here in Melbourne, especially where I live. But maybe it's just that Comicsgate isn't as infamous here. I'm not quite sure. But it wouldn't even matter because most of my friends online that have backed this at Kosovo are from the US, and most of our audience base on How to Draw Comics is from the US, but we've really just seen a lot of support, and no one has. I feel sorry for. Well, I don't feel sorry necessarily, but I feel for those people out there who lose friendships over something that is supposed to be positive.
Right.
But if your friends are willing to turn their backs on you for something like this, I don't think they were friends in the first place.
Yeah, you find out who's a real friend.
Yes,
exactly.
If you say it out loud too, just how ridiculous it sounds. I'm not going to be your friend because you're part of a comic book movement that I don't like. It's like, what? Are you for real? That's like saying, I'm not going to be your friend because you like vanilla ice cream instead of chocolate, or vice versa,
Yes, great analogy. You're 100% right, Vinny. Right, 100% of the money. It's kind of like to the preference of food or something like that. Now I love food, and there's another thing that I love a lot, and that is Mike Murphy's Deepwell. So can we talk about it?
Look at you. I would love to. Yeah, let's do the pitch, man. Deepwell is a hyper-violent action-adventure story focusing on the Grey Devil, a mysterious vigilante who's out for vengeance against the Block family, a ruthless gang of criminals and killers who run the town of Deepwell with an iron grip. This is a book for readers who want a little grit mixed in with their optimism, and it's for adults only as it's filled with tons of mature content. Despite all the darkness, there is a redeeming story at its core. We're just a little harsh about getting there. Deepwell is drawn by Rafael Dantas, fully colored by me, and the best perk for your investment is the swag bag, which gets you a set of trading cards, pinups by John Malin and Vinny himself here, and a map of Deepwell hand drawn by Raphael. We'd love to have everyone who's into books filled with sex, violence, and over-the-top action come along with us for the ride.
Wow. Well, the art looks fantastic, but again, the same thing catches my eye. The different fonts from the characters. That's kind of becoming a testament of kind of people who know what they're doing. When it comes to
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the art looks great, man, and the story look. I kind of live in cowboy area here in Arizona, so we definitely know the story of cowboys here, from anywhere from Tombstone to things like that. Did you get inspired in old Western stories like that? What was your biggest inspiration?
Yeah, of course, man. So what I've been saying is like Westerns. As a kid, Westerns didn't click with me. Like, I was a superhero guy and a horror movie guy. It wasn't until I was in college, I was taking a film class, and I got assigned Unforgiven. And that movie just, like, clicked something in my head, and I totally fell in love with Westerns from then on. And so the main inspiration for this story was I was doing a rewatch of Deadwood a few years ago. And it was near the end of the first season, and I just had this thought pop into my head. I was like, what if the Lone Ranger just rode into town right now and messed up everything that was happening? Like all the power plays and the political moves and the egos and ideologies that are battling each other. Like, what if we just dropped this mysterious vigilante right into the middle of all that? What would that do to the town and all the personality conflicts? So it kind of just started growing and spilling out from there.
That's awesome, man.
I think
I've been the same way. When Unforgiven came out originally in theaters, I mean, because I saw a couple like the original Clint Eastwood Westerns and stuff, and I always liked them, but Unforgiven really pulled me back into that world. And yeah, stuff like Deadwood is just, it's really amazing, you know, because you have the history of what actually happened, and, you know, they took their own liberties, but that is a cool concept to see something along those lines.
Thanks.
Yeah, there are quite a few Western comics that I have been criminally underrated. But I think that Westerns are becoming a cool thing again because of the Red Dead series, which I'm the biggest fan of. You know, that's probably my favorite video game ever. Red Dead Redemption 2. And they did have like a lot of homages to old Western movies in that game. I don't know if a lot of you caught that. And that's because I am a big Western guy myself. So I have a few of those, you know. Anywhere from not Clint Eastwood, but from what's his name? The other big guy in Westerns. From Stagecoach. Help me out.
John Wayne.
John Wayne. There you go. I think he was a big inspiration for the game as well. So
Rio Bravo is fucking still one of those movies that anytime it's on, I'll sit down and watch it as well.
Yeah, Rio Bravo's pretty good. And there's no more epic music than spaghetti Western type of music. You know what I mean? And that shit will get you through anything, a workout, anything, right?
Yeah, that's like what's funny is like as I was developing Deepwell, I saw it as very Western, and when I say that, I mean like American. And when Raphael came on, he immediately turned it into a spaghetti Western, and I like it. Just it clicked with me even more, and I fell in love with like my own concept, man, because like he kind of put his own spin on it and made it his own thing in a way.
Absolutely. And tell me the truth, Mike, were you listening to like the old not the old Western music, but the old spaghetti Western music while you were writing the script for this book, or not?
Oh yeah, of course. Like Morricone, so what I do is whenever I start on a script for a book, I specifically tailor a soundtrack just for that book. So and I'm going to be reprinting that track. I'm going to reprint the track listing in the inside front cover of every book. So, you know, if you're interested, you can kind of sit along and read while you listen to the soundtrack for the book.
That's cool, man.
So we have quite a controversy here. Abel is saying that Treasure of Sierra Madre is the best one ever. Unforgiven by mostly Safe. What do you guys? What's your favorite Western, guys? What do you say your favorite Western is?
I love The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, but I think if you're gonna really like narrow it down, I think Once Upon a Time in the West was one of the better ones out there. And like even like those characters in the very beginning of the movie, those three guys who get killed, they were actually supposed to be Blondie from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It was going to be each of those, Eli Wallach, and Angel Eyes over there. It was supposed to be the three of them, but the studio said no because they thought it would hurt sales from that movie. You know, when they would re-release it or you know put it on obviously on tape and then DVD and all that shit. They thought it was going to hurt those characters or those movies, so they switched into like generic characters. Believe it or not.
That's true. We have a few votes here for Tombstone as well. Tombstone is a close. It's a close second for me.
Yeah.
How about you, Mike? What's your favorite?
I mean, look, on a personal level, just because of like how much it means to me, like Unforgiven is number one. But if I had to be objective, I might go for something like The Wild Bunch, which was like the first movie that kind of started deconstructing the Western. Like I feel like The Wild Bunch is the start of that, and Unforgiven is like the end of it, you know? All
right. How about you, Clayton? Were you big into Westerns? Are Westerns movies big in Australia?
You know, man, I do like Westerns. I can't think of any that really stand out to me and come to mind. Unforgiven, that's the one with Clint Eastwood, right?
Yeah, it was his last Western.
Yeah, see, I haven't seen that one. Corey watched it without me, and I really wanted to check it out. So I'm definitely going to watch that one. I love Clint Eastwood as a dude, as an actor. I think he, he's the man's man from back in the day.
And he was
a total stud.
And he's actually surprisingly a great director as well.
He's an amazing director. Did you guys see what was it, The Mule?
Yeah, The Mule.
Yeah, I haven't seen The Mule yet. I want to.
So cool. Such a cool movie.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Clayton, but there was something like the Western era in Australia too, right? There was something like very similar to it.
Yeah, it's weird. Like as a kid, I found like history kind of to be a boring topic. But as I've gotten older, I've really gotten into like just warrior type movies and westerns, like Gladiator, for example. I only just recently watched that all the way through, probably a few years ago, and it was so cool, man. Like I loved the power in it. Those warriors were awesome. And also the westerns as well. What was it that we watched? We've watched some really, really good ones. But they aren't coming to mind right now. But yeah, I love westerns. If you've got some good ones, tell me because I'll watch them.
Yeah, and then some people in the comment section were bringing neo-westerns like Django. And you know what? It's kind of like a western, but it's not really a western. I guess you could say that because the setting is the desert and things like that. But it's happening in the future. Is the last Wolverine movie, Logan?
That was cool.
Man, for sure.
That was really cool. Yeah, I watched this western where it was like, I can barely remember it now. My memory as I get older is just atrocious for some reason. But there was a guy who I think he was trying to get one of his mates out of prison or something like that. Or they were escaping from prison together. I forget now. And right at the end, one of them dies.
I got a good one. Bone Tomahawk.
Oh yeah, that's great. That's a great movie. How good is that movie?
It's Western with a bit of horror, I think, in it.
Yeah, definitely.
That director is incredible, man. Like Brawl in Cell Block 99 is like one of the most violent films I've ever seen.
Oh, did he do that?
Yeah.
Man, that was good with Vince Vaughn.
Yeah, and even his last movie, Dragged Across Concrete, was pretty good.
Oh, what? Dude, I love all of those movies.
Dude, he's crazy. I love that guy.
So that's how you know that Deepwell is going to be a quality Western book, because Mike is just so much into Western. He knows all about it. So we'll probably have shootouts, Mexican standoffs, duels, and the likes, right?
Yeah. Well, okay, so the duel I'm building up to. Like, there's going to be one big duel, and it's going to be at the end of book 3, and it's going to be like the grandest duel you've ever seen depicted in a comic. So I'm going to make the readers work for it.
Hell yeah, guys. If you haven't done so already, please do check out Deepwell live on Indiegogo now. I am dropping the link just now in the comment section. So look for my comment right there. And there you go. So please check out Deepwell by the great Mike Murphy and his lovely wife, Selena. Great friends and Comicsgate all the way. Some of Comicsgate is here tonight.
Thanks so much, man.
Absolutely. And by the way, while we were talking and ranting, lots of people showed up. So I'm sorry if I don't get to everybody, but I want to do a quick shout out to everyone. Wise Guys, thank you for joining us. Oliver from 656, congratulations again on your project. I'm super excited that you guys made your goal. And did you triple it? They tripled it, right? Or doubled it. I'm not sure, but I got to double check on that. And Mogwai was asking if there are going to be any titties in the print.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, when I say adult content, I mean adult content. Like this is pretty much the comic version of like an HBO series. So it's not just going to be the violence, but yeah, there's going to be some AAT in there.
Absolutely. All right, then I think probably the 99% of our audience is sold, because that's what we're into out here.
Exactly.
That's for sure. Now, talking about titties, Vinny, how's the pirate book coming along?
It's coming up beautiful. Like I said, I'm trying to get some more pages done because I'm going to launch the sign up around Halloween. So I'm kind of crunch time for me at the moment. But yeah, I have more than half the book is done. I'm thinking about other things to add on to the actual campaign, and I want to do some stuff that I haven't seen other people do yet. So yeah, it should be really great, like how we're going to set this all up. But yeah, it's right now it's about the pages, the storytelling, getting as much cool stuff done as possible, and yeah, just having a really great experience because it's going to be one hell of a fun ride.
Absolutely. We have a question here by Mogwai, and this is actually not me asking this time, but what's the title of it?
It's coming. You'll find out in about 2 weeks, buddy.
All right. Did Oliver nail it here? Is it Pirate Booty?
It's not Pirate Booty. No.
Yeah, all right.
Pirate's not in the title.
All right. That's cool. Hey, if you guys didn't see it, I think like 2 or 3 live streams ago, Vinny did show us a little bit of, exclusive footage of what he was working on, and it was looking amazing. If you wanna share any screens today, brother, show us what you're working on, or show us any work in progress or anything like that.
He's trying to get more.
Feel free.
Yeah. Well, I've been painting. Well, that's why I don't have my camera on. If I'm on someone's stream and my camera's not on, it's because I'm getting work done. It's the only way that I could do this where I'm not completely ghosting anybody. But let me just share a screen real quick.
Treasure. By the way, I nominate this for the name of the book, Treasure Chest.
I like that one.
That is definitely going to be. All right, now this looks fucking cool. All right.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we got a shipwreck scene that's going on here.
I'm sorry, guys. That's the comment.
It almost fit.
Yeah, it kind of did.
But yeah, we got some ear stuff happening here. But yeah, it's trying to get good visuals down for this project is to me very key. But yeah, it's gonna have everything that you need in it because I'm going more of like much like Mike was saying, like an HBO series or something along those lines, where I want it to be more set in like a real world type of deal. It's not going to be so ARG and all that shit. It's going to be without getting boring either. I mean, because you're gonna see like the English, the Spanish,
all right,
what's going on because it is set in the Caribbean, so you're gonna have a lot of those kind of elements where you're seeing these different people that are interacting with one another, who's making deals, who's betraying who. You can have beautiful locations, just lots of like epic battles on the ocean, and just a ton of great stuff. I mean, I've shown pages where you see like a battle that's just starting and someone getting stabbed in the eye, and yeah, you're gonna see limbs coming off. It's gonna be a cool ride.
And I was really dying to see how you would do the underwater colors. And man, this looks fucking cool. All right.
This
amazing.
is amazing.
I'm just kind of getting started on it because I've been juggling different elements of this book. So again, as I'm jumping on streams, that's usually when I'll make some time to start painting some of the pages that I've been working on. But yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be really good.
Well, absolutely, man. Thanks for sharing. Guys, listen, you got to subscribe to this channel. You got to follow us because this is where we get the exclusives, man. I'm telling you, we always get the juicy stuff out here.
Oh, you know it, man. You know it. Oh, and by the way, Through the Woods, I'm like 2 backers away from hitting 700 backers. So,
wow.
Yeah, that's another huge landmark. I got to thank everybody, in chat, everyone who we've been jumping on each other's streams. This week I'll have Mike Murphy on and a few other creators. Stephen Walden, I want to have him on as well. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank at the moment, but I gotta hit up a few people because we're gonna do another big showcase coming up. If not tomorrow, maybe on Thursday, I believe. But yeah, keep an eye out for that. It's gonna be a good time. Like I said, we do the same here, like John, Carla, Clayton, what we've all been doing, showcasing other talented people, having real conversations. This is what it's about. You're not going to get it from the mainstream. You're getting it here with these fine people.
Absolutely. We're like the We're like the controversy from the 90s. We're like Eminem, yo. And we need a little bit more of that. When did we forget that's what sells?
I feel more like Everlast, though.
Yeah,
You feel more like what?
Everlast. The guy from House
Oh,
of
yeah.
Pain.
Oh, nice.
I want to say hello to Hex Allen, who's joining us right now. Thanks for watching, my friend. That's most of the campaigns that we wanted to touch upon. But I have a few news before, and then some selfish self-promotion or whatever that you call it. Shameless self-promotion. That's right. So first, a little bit of news from the entertainment world, I guess you would call it. What are your thoughts on these retarded ass shit? So there's I guess there's some controversy because this fine lady right here, Gal Gadot, from Israel, if I'm not mistaken. You know her from Wonder Woman, and she is now supposed to be playing Cleopatra in a movie or something like that. And of course, people are up in arms because of course we are a country that is fucking what do we call it? Obsessed with race. Right, and then of course there's people who claim that ancient Egyptians were of African American descent. Oh no, not really. That wouldn't make any sense. But they were, you know what I mean. Their skin tone was slightly darker than the average person. And then there's of course people who say no, but Cleopatra was Greek, so she cannot be played by a Jewish woman. Have we gotten to the point where do we have to really have a person who I don't know who is that person to play the same person? Because
yeah, I mean you can't play the assassin because you never killed anybody.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Have we gotten to that ridiculous ass point where you have to? I mean, I don't know. My mind is.
It is. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I was just going to say that is where we're at, and I mean, look, they are genius level idiots because, of course, you complain about someone portraying, a different race by attacking that person's race. Like look, they're not members of Mensa.
No, they're not. Not even close.
Yeah. By the way, a little bit of what you call trivia here is that Mensa, which is, by the way, the association for people with high IQs, I wouldn't know about that, but it actually in Spanish it means dumbass. Just putting it out there.
You're stupid.
You're stupid, yeah.
Menso.
But I mean, it's like I understand when people complain about, I don't know. For example, it didn't make any sense when Doctor Strange goes into Nepal and the master, whatever, was some Irish lady. I guess that didn't make any sense. Didn't make a difference. No, I still enjoyed the movie. I thought it was great.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, sure.
But she's Israeli. She's from Israel. She's playing an ancient Egyptian woman. What's the big fucking deal?
Yeah, you know what I see with that side by side? I see two beautiful women, dark hair, dark eyes. I don't see a problem whatsoever. I didn't even have to read the caption. I told Kelsey in there. I just said, yeah, just bring on more of these photos. Sorry, look at Elizabeth Taylor. Did she play Cleopatra as well? She's not exactly that either, but everyone loved it. So what's the fucking problem?
Exactly. Well, I mean, I think the problem is that we're obsessed with race here, and everything has to be about that. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but yeah, I think it was, what was the other ladies from the Avengers too? What was her name?
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson, right? That she got in trouble because, and she actually ended up turning down the role because she was supposed to play a transgender person.
Right.
They said, oh, it has to be a transgender person. Do you guys understand what acting is? What actors are, what their job is?
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Hollywood does.
I mean,
and I would rather a skilled, talented actor than, a culturally appropriate actor.
Yeah, but I mean, look how crazy things have gotten in such a short span of time. I mean, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the movie Tropic Thunder, right? Starring Ben Stiller and many others. And then you have this character played by Robert Downey Jr., right? He was playing a guy who was playing an Australian man. By the way, he nailed the accent that I could never even dream of. He was playing an Australian man who was playing an African American, and nobody was offended by that at the time. Everybody was just laughing it off because.
John, if you remember, if you remember, he also got nominated for an Oscar for that role.
Exactly. Can you imagine if they made that movie today? The outrage. Cities would go on fire if they tried that shit today.
No, like we were just rewatching about a week ago Blazing Saddles, and like that movie could not exist today.
And here's the funny thing: all the parts that you think are racist were actually written by Richard Pryor. Vice versa, those jokes were written by the other fucking side. Which I think is even more hilarious.
Isn't it crazy that like a movie that when it came out was designed to kind of attack and tear down racism and racist thinking is now viewed as being racist and filled with racist thinking?
Yeah, totally. And it just makes their argument such shaky ground. Like how could you invest all your beliefs and what you stand for into what they say when it just changes so often with the trends? Like one day they get you to buy in one particular set of beliefs, and then the next day when the tide changes, all of a sudden you've got to change who you are on a fundamental level to fit in. It just seems like no way. It's not something which is secure or sturdy or viable enough to buy into, in my opinion.
Yeah. Do you see a great deal of difference here? Do you?
No, yeah. I mean, I don't want to be racist, but
too late. You're part of Comicsgate.
Yeah, you're part of a hat group. This is what an Egyptian woman looks like. This is Gal Gadot. I mean, you guys are. I don't know.
They could be sisters.
Exactly.
At the photos, you know what I mean?
They could be.
Yeah, it's just total ridiculousness, is what it is. These people are all demented. Like I said, the hypocrisy is on another level, dude. It's what I was talking about earlier. Like, I came from a time where, it's cool. Laugh at everything. Laugh at everyone. No one should be taking themselves as seriously to now it's everything's super offensive. Everything is.
Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, I don't condone it when people, when people who are, I don't know, more conservative about movies and stuff like that, complain about a character who was, white and then turn it into black. If it doesn't interfere with the personality of the character, or if the actor does a good job, I don't. Like when they made the announcement that Ariel was going to be black, I was like, okay, cool. I mean, I don't care. I'm not gonna watch it anyways because I don't fucking watch Disney movies like that.
Right.
But just on the same line of argument, I want to be pretty consistent with it. I don't think that matters because if you have a good actor, a skilled actor who can play the character, then give him the role. Yep. And the only people who would have a problem with that is racist people, and that's what the SJWs are. They're racist.
Exactly.
A little bit.
And then the other thing that I wanted to show you today and get your thoughts on it, I think this is something very interesting. I saw this meme the other day, and I wanted to share it with you. What does this say about our culture right now, when we have gone from glorifying heroism, if you will, and now we glorify villainy, and we glorify I don't know, we glorify the monsters as opposed to glorifying the hero who's supposed to be slaying them. What does that say about our culture currently? What do you guys think?
It's backwards.
Man.
Yeah, I mean the main issue is that the whole Medusa sculpture issue shows that they literally don't know what they're even talking about, because everything about the ideology behind the Medusa statue is backwards and just incorrect logically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. So what's the story behind this?
So let me see if I can zoom in, because I just realized that it is very, very small. Let me see.
The story behind this, I know a little bit. I mean, I don't know a lot, but I was reading a little. That this is an Argentinian sculpture. In the right?
On the right, huh?
On the right, this sculpture was going to be put in. It was an important place in Washington, I think.
Yeah.
The sculpture.
This is called this sculpture, and it's the problem with this culture is that it symbolizes feminism, and like it symbolizes like the woman that killed and cut the head of her rapist. Okay.
Okay.
But actually, it's not accurate to the actual Greek mythology. That's the problem that people have,
Well,
and also
I don't think there was any feminism in the Greek myth.
yeah, but they are bringing it as a symbol of empowering for women, and also well, they of course here this meme is comparing like how simple this new sculpture is. Like we can see like it's the body, yes, right, but how can you compare that to actual sculptures from I don't know
I don't know if I have a problem with particularly speaking with the statue. I think it is a beautiful statue.
Yeah,
I gotta say
it is. I like it.
The sculpture.
Well, you're a man, of course you like it.
Hey, look, I'm not complaining about the sculpture itself.
He did a good job.
Yeah.
I think the meaning of it is it's what really bothers me, because
of course.
I think that we have gone from a culture that glorifies, like I said, not only masculinity but at the same time heroism and everything that Perseus represents in the myth, whereas Medusa represents evil and a monster and the things that you should the thing that you should kill in the story, if you will. And you don't only see this, you see it in movies, you see it in all kind of entertainment, how they've turned the villain. There's no more superheroes. There's always these conflicted anti-heroes, if you will, that have kind of taken the spotlight. Even Thanos, I mean, there's just plenty of people who agreed with him, and they try to make him more complex. Not that I have a problem with making complex villains. What I have a problem with is when you glorify them and you send in that message that being a bad person it's good.
It's
What I mean?
reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to know because I think that a lot of people find villains cool already. I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
Like, I often like the villain better than the hero. This is a really tough one. I think you're right. It's maybe the point and the message behind it. Like if they're doing it just to promote feminism, yes, and it's tough because with feminism, there's so many different models as well, and it probably stood for something okay back once upon a time, but. Yeah, I don't know, man. I really don't know the full story behind this. I mean, I love both those statues. I think they look great.
I mean, basically, the bullet point is like if it was a statue of Medusa, like holding the head of Poseidon, at least it would be in line with the whole Me Too philosophy, and we could have
totally
it there.
Yeah,
but the fact that it's the wrong head from the wrong dude, and it has nothing to do with Poseidon. I'm like,
Right.
So she just killed an innocent guy. Like, is it? In a way,
is it supposed to be an innocent guy? Yeah, just a man. It's like female domination over men, maybe.
like I said, and correct me if I'm wrong too, but didn't Medusa have snake fucking lower half?
Right.
Part of her punishment.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like I said, they fuck around with so many different things, and they're just trying to turn it into something else. And like you said, the symbolism was what they're trying to do that they failed on. Again, it was Poseidon. She was punished from all that, and she was an adulteress on top of it. There's a lot of other things going into all of this.
That's it. That's just it. If you told me that a feminist didn't do this, then I guess I'll be like, it's a cool piece of art.
Right.
But just
I want to know.
Intent behind it was malicious, and it's always bringing down Western civilization. It's always trying to shit on our traditions and the mythology and men in general. You know what I mean? Because that's the way to take.
We love men.
Culture down.
Yeah, men are great. Like I like both those statues, but you know what? Unless a Greek person sculpted that, I don't think it counts.
Right.
You're right.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
Yeah, well, and maybe they didn't because it seems that they got it wrong.
Yeah.
Listen, they just want everyone to turn into stone when they see it. Just freeze with it.
Right.
And bend over while the government comes and takes them from behind.
Yeah. So where is this statue sitting?
It's in Washington D.C. somewhere. I don't know.
Across from a courthouse, I believe.
Yeah.
What an odd statue to have.
It's probably in front of Hillary Clinton's office.
Yeah, probably.
But I
Man,
think that before, in that same place, there was another statue that they like destroyed, and in its place they put this one.
Yeah, it's the replacement, but it's just also silly. It's a statement. It's a statement against the patriarchy.
It's the failed attempt of changing what it means,
and changing history and changing mythology and changing everything. Just like what they did with the comic book industry. They infiltrated it and they decided to shove their politics down our throats instead of doing good content. Now, I personally, like I said, I do think that the statue is a beautiful statue. And if it wasn't for the message, I would be totally okay with it.
yeah, I get what you're saying. It's so weird to put that in place of a statue that was already once there, and to do it in the place that it is being put. It's quite odd, and it does, it does send across a very strong message from them.
Like it kind of fits their whole narrative perfectly, because again, like this is something that your boy talks a lot about, head trauma, number one.
Mm-hmm.
And like, just so what they're basically saying is, that the statue is supposed to represent justice, but like, how funny is it that the idea of justice was the blind woman with the scales, and now we're at the point where it's Medusa standing naked with a severed head. Like,
yes, yeah, which is like, okay.
So it's not about justice anymore; it's about vengeance, and that's
about revenge. Yeah.
Filter here says, just summarizes it perfectly. The Hillary Clinton statue will be of her holding Bill's balls. I think that
maybe. Although, I don't know. Looking at his past.
Yeah.
Well, I got a story for you off air.
All right. Why not say it in the air, man? Come on, you're gonna give our audience blue balls now.
Well, it has to do with somebody that I know who kind of was part of something and has a very specific story on her and catching Bill. It was pretty funny, but you will definitely get struck if I say it.
Can you use like names that are different?
Exactly. Change the names.
It's what had happened specifically when she attacked Bill, or we'll call him Bob. She attacked Bob.
There you go.
And the Secret Service had pulled their firearms on her, and she goes, "Yeah, let's see how that plays out." Shooting the first lady. Let's see how that's going to work out on the news. And they still had their guns trained on her, and they were waiting for him. And he went, lower your guns, lower your guns.
Really? Oh, and you got this from a Secret Service guy who?
I can't say what I. Don't get me in trouble.
You have to come to Mass John and tell this story, brother, please.
Yeah, I feel like Bill Clinton is probably secretly a boss. With a very strange past as well.
Yeah, well, don't forget he was also on Epstein Island a number of times.
Yes. So
creeps.
He's a weird dude. He's really there's a lot of different things that you could say about Bill Clinton for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, talking about weird, let's talk about our little project, which is launching on the 27th of October, and it's called Witch Hunter. It's time for some of that, what you call it again? Shameless self-promotion. Launching on October 27th, right here on this very channel, White Cat Comics. We're going to have pretty much an all-day stream where it's going to overlap with the Powerpuff Girls, and then we're going to, can I say where we're going after?
Sure.
We're going to Raging Golden Eagles channel right after, and it's going to be an all-day promotion type of thing. 27th of October, set your clocks. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the mailing list, because you will get early bird rewards. You're going to get a print, right?
A free trading card.
Free trading card is what you're getting, actually. I don't know. I got it all backwards. And yeah, man, this is a cool little project that we're working with Carla and Xavier Gutierrez from 656. So if you like
Undead Border,
he did the interior art for that. He's doing the interior art for this. Carla's doing the colors. I wrote the story, and then we're gonna have a variant cover by Vinny Art as well. Not only are we having a variant cover by Vinny, but is the story is going to have a variant ending, meaning that the variant cover by Vinny will have a different ending from the original cover made by Carla. And we're actually let me see. I think this is the one to share. This is like a little story that's gonna be inside the book at the end of it. So
it's a little extra story that I'm gonna be doing. Like, this is not gonna be made by Javier. It's gonna be made by me. Yeah. Both art and colors. And like I wanted to try this aesthetic that is like anime inspired. Like I wanted to look like as a screenshot from Crunchyroll, like you're watching anime and you take a screenshot. Well, that's the kind of aesthetic I wanted to do. This was an experiment I actually did live in one of the office shows. People reacted very well to this one, very, very well. So I was like, I should probably do something with this style. I like it. I really dig it. So because like I can see there's a lot of, well, there's not a lot. Manga is starting to. What are you doing, baby?
I'm trying to look for the cover, but there it is. All right, so I don't know. They sent that somewhere else. I don't know what the heck is going on.
Touch it.
So this is you.
No.
Let me see. Is this the cover? This is the cover.
Oh my
we found it. So this is the original cover by Carla that has the original ending. Variant cover by Vinny has a different ending. So two different endings for the story, right?
Stan is back.
And then the little dragon, which is Stan. That's the little story that we add in at the end of both books. So yeah, super excited. This is going to be a 50-page glossy cover. What else? Perfect bound book. It's going to be a fun time. So yeah, please sign up for the mailing list and get your early bird reward.
I was saying something, but
who cares?
Now
I'm just playing.
Now I forgot. Anyway.
Well, the artwork is beautiful. I'm looking forward to that all the way.
Thank you, bro. No, yeah, now I remember what I was going to say. Like, there's not a lot of manga in CG, but there's starting to be a bigger like manga presence. But what I'm trying to do here with the Stan the Dragon story is gonna be the first, because I haven't seen any other, and I like to be the first in things. Anime style. It's not gonna be manga. It's gonna be anime. For the weebs who know the difference, I congratulate you. But for those who don't know the difference, manga is like the comic in black and white, right? This style. Mm-hmm. But the anime is the animation, of course, right? So the style is different. They use like this kind of cell shading, kind of blurry artwork, but very atmospheric. I really like how atmospheric it is. And I think that Witch Hunter would be a story that can bring up the best of that style. So people responded. That's all I needed to say, okay, let's go. I'm going to try to get as much done before having the baby, because the baby's coming in December. So I'm working a lot. You have no idea how much I'm working, but I'm very, very excited. I'm very happy. So yeah, definitely be here the 27th of October. We're going to be making a party. We're going to be doing some raffles, some very, very fun stuff going on. You know, it always goes off the rails. So definitely 27th of October is a Tuesday, Powerpuff Girls show. We're going to extend it. It's going to be fun. Be there and subscribe to the mailing list if you want to get a free trading card, which is it's pretty.
I want to answer a question from our audience, from Wise Guys. The link is right here. I just posted it on the chat right there. Like I said, it's definitely worth it for you to sign up, because you're gonna get early bird rewards, and also you're gonna get an email from us the day before reminding you that this campaign is going live.
Of course.
So yeah, absolutely. Do check us out, please. Do sign up for the mailing list. And then we have a question here by
I want to address that one. That will be manga, as I'm telling you. Manga, comic, black and white, screen tones, anime, cell shading, different kind of technique. Like, just put Crunchyroll, take a screenshot, that's anime.
Yep.
The book, black and white, that will be Battle Made in Knuckle Bomb. As I told you, there's a couple mangas out there, beautiful mangas like Xenotype, like Battle Made in Knuckle Bomb. Oh my god, it's so hard for me to pronounce. But I haven't seen yet anime style. So
this is a little experiment we're doing in this book. We're doing this anime style at the end of it with a little short story that Carla rushed me to write in 5 minutes, and I rushed you. You rushed me.
So I rushed you. I'm the artist, and I rushed you.
You rush money.
Yeah, we know it usually goes the other way around.
You said I wanna make an anime style story, and you write it for me right now. And I was in the middle of work, and I said, you know what? You'll be talking about this dragon Stan, and he's a fat dragon, and why not? So we made the story about Stan, the fat dragon.
Well, I just posted that as an experiment, and people like really liked it. They really liked it. Like there was like an explosion in the mailing list, an explosion in everywhere, and even a lot of DMs like, "Oh my god!" So, right, get to work.
That's right. All right, we have one more question here for like Filter. Have you guys read Lisbeth Jimenez Sacred Manga?
No idea.
Not yet. But if you do have a link for that, please drop it on the comment section, and we'll check it out.
We'd like to check it out.
So one more thing before we go, don't forget, guys, to check out, and please back, if you haven't done so already, Kosovo by our friends Clayton and Corey.
Our flames.
Yeah, they're my flames. You guys are my flames.
So gay.
Thank you. We appreciate it. John and waifu. Carla. No, I really do appreciate you guys for having me today and showcasing Kosovo for us. Means the world. Everybody jump on board, back it, be part of the madness, and we'll be bringing you this book in March, ideally. That's what we're aiming for.
Nice.
Absolutely, guys. If you like monsters with 1,000 eyes and 400 nails and 200 apples, this is the one you want to back, right? Look at this beautiful artwork by my man Clayton here, and inspired writing by his brother Corey too. These guys are some of CG's best for sure. Look at that.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
And then, of course, if you like Western movies and Western comics like I do, don't forget to also back Deepwell by one of CG's best too, Mike Murphy.
Thanks so much, my friend. Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna be. I can't say it yet, but we just got the okay to do a major thing that we're gonna be unveiling this week for the campaign. It's gonna be a huge new tier. It's something that we've gotten a lot of requests for. We're aiming to have the Gods Fear Me in fulfillment by January, and then have this on track for fulfillment in February. So it's going to be a 1-2 punch for backers of both campaigns.
Nice.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man. So yeah, don't forget Deepwell, another man, and you're gonna have the most epic duel ever in Western comics. So that's a lot to live up to, but I can see that you are going to do it. You're gonna make it. So
thanks so much, man.
Excited to see where that goes. Yeah, for sure, guys. Check out Deepwell, and then also don't forget to still Through the Woods is available, but also in Halloween, the mailing list for the pirate book, the secret pirate book, whose name should not be mentioned, is launching too.
The chest treasure. She told us.
Yeah.
We're going to be mentioning it a lot, like I told you, on Halloween. You're going to be hearing it so much, that's why I'm not going to bother yet. Because people are like looking it up, looking for it now. I'm like, nope, not yet. I'll let you know. I'll let you know when. Yeah.
And if you joined us and you didn't see Vinny's a piece that he was working on for the pirate book, do rewind this video and watch from the beginning, hopefully, and watch what he's doing. He's working on some amazing art. You know, he has that sunken ship at the bottom of the ocean with the sharks and everything. It looks fantastic, brother. You're one of the best artists out there that I personally know. So my respects.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I really appreciate it. Like I said, man, it's all about quality storytelling, quality artwork, and doing what we can for one another. So yeah, man, thank you for letting me on as well. And it's really important to push each other like this, and hang out and have a great time.
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
And by the way, Mangaka Mom is coming back with a few more videos, and her blog channel is my wife's personal channel. I'm not allowed in it, so
no, this is
all your pitch.
Manga art tutorials, anime, and also some kind of man blog. I'm gonna be uploading a lot of content these days. Also, there are some tutorials. If you're into manga and anime, definitely check it out, please. I'm this number. So help me, guys, please. And thank you for everybody who subscribed.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're not subscribed to Yakamom, give her a follow because I've been part of a few of those blogs. So if you love my beautiful presence, you're gonna get to see that a lot.
But it's not about
Don't forget yet, subscribe to my channel as well. I just put up a new video. We're going to be doing a promotion this week. Going to have Mike Murphy on and a couple other people. We're going to have a great time.
Hell yeah.
I guess I should plug that too real quick. So yeah, like everyone go and subscribe to the Chibi Mike, all one word, over on YouTube. I do a weekly series every Sunday called CG One-on-One, and it's just kind of a long form conversation with me and a different creator every week.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
And where can people find you, Clayton?
You can find me at How to Draw Comics on all social media. We got a YouTube channel called howtodrawcomics.net. We have a bunch of creator interviews over there with people like John and Carla and Vinny and Mike. And we've got a bunch of drawing tutorials as well. So yeah, there's some for everybody over there if you're interested in comic books and the creating of comic books.
Absolutely. All right, and as always, thank you so much for watching. You guys rock, and you guys make this channel possible. If you're not subscribed to this channel, do subscribe right now so you don't miss out. Sometimes our videos are taken down, flagged, or whatever, so you don't want to miss them.
Also subscribe to Witch Hunter. Don't forget.
Don't forget Witch Hunter, launching on the 27th of October, right here on this very channel. Don't miss it. See you.